guys, I hope you are doing great. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Kian and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This month of April is going to be packed and very intense musically because there are so many albums coming out this month that I'm so excited about. I'll try to react to most of them, but there are way too many and I won't have a lot of time. So hopefully I will react to some of them. The first one I'm gonna react to today is the new album by Khalid. It's called Free Spirit, and this is an album that I was looking forward to because I really appreciate Khalid's music. I think it's always interesting, it's always very honest, and there's always a very beautiful musicality to his music that is mostly pop and R&B, and that's something that I really appreciate. I found out about Khalid not because of Location, which was his big hit at the time, like in early 2017. I actually found out about him when he released Shutdown, which was, I don't know if it was a single or more like a countdown single for his album, but he released that in early 2017, and I had never heard of Khalid before, and it was a very beautiful R&B kind of pop 2 song. That was kind of sad, but honestly very beautiful. If you have never heard this song, you really should, because to me it's one of his best. And then I found out that he was going to release an album soon after, and he released American Teen, the song, right before the album, and it was a lot more pop, but it was the kind of breezy, very fun, almost kind of melancholic pop that I really love. And that's when I knew that I had to listen to his album, and his album was really a revelation to me. It was really great. There were so many tunes that you could dance and you could have fun to, like Young, Dumb and Broke, which has kind of a hip-hop influence to it that I really appreciated, but also songs such as Let's Go or 17 or No More Sad Song. I think that's the title of the song, or maybe I'm just quoting Tony Braxton's song, but whatever. There were some very up-tempo songs that I really liked, and what I enjoyed about these songs is that it wasn't just pop for the sake of being pop and catchy. It just, you could feel that he was really enjoying it, and the production was so well done that it didn't feel like they were trying to overproduce it. And that's something that I really appreciated about his up-tempo song on his album. But there were also some down-tempo, such as Shutdown, the one I just talked about earlier, or Angels, that was a beautiful song as well, or one of my favorite, which is Saved. I think it ended up being my favorite Khalid song. I really love this track. And this fall he released an EP called Suncity, which was really good. You could totally tell that his song was evolving, that he was maturing, and the music was still as good as it was before, but with something new, and I really loved the EP. I know a few songs from it are on the album. Okay, so I'm excited about this album. I'm gonna start listening to it. The few songs that I've heard from it so far were quite interesting, a little more restrained compared to the previous album. I thought the production is even better. Like for example on Talk, it was produced by Disclosure, and I thought it was a really good track. Alright, let's stop the talking. I'm gonna start reacting to Free Spirit, the second album by Khalid, and I hope you'll have some reactions of yourself to share at the end of this video. Just the vocal production so far, it's stunning. He uses his higher register, and at the same time you can hear in the back like his lower register came in after repeating a few times the same line. It's stunning. I really like details like this. I feel like this is gonna be like, the album is gonna have darker tones in the lyrics. I think Khalid just went through his first, or maybe his first real breakup. Oh, this is gonna be the album where he has to find himself. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I know he made a short film to go with this album. It's on YouTube, and I'll probably watch that tonight. I love visual albums. I'm just talking about this because I thought the production on this track feels really like the music you could hear at the beginning of a movie. It was really cinematic. This first track was kind of interesting to me because I thought it was really beautiful. It feels like an intro, but it's a full song. It's really something that I could listen to just outside of the album. And I thought what was interesting is you could hear like the keyboards that really dominated the track, and those keyboards reminded me of the production of some of the productions on American Teen. So maybe this is a bridge between the two albums, or maybe I'm just reading too much into this and I should just stop talking. I always love a guitar in a Khalid song. I mean, Safe, that's how it started. Not the same guitar though, but Suncity as well. There's clearly an evolution so far, I think. On the first album he was talking a lot about how he loved being with his friends and they were having fun and everything. It was the end of high school. On this one, it's like, I'm always so crowded, even when I'm alone. And it's interesting, like, maybe he doesn't appreciate as much as before, like, to be always surrounded, especially in an industry such as the music industry. This is not a tempo song, I can talk, but it's still catchy, so it says a lot about his abilities as a songwriter, and also how great his producers are too. Oh, I've heard that one. So far in the album, Khalid's really been like an unhealthy relationship, we'll say. Oh, cool. I've probably only listened to this track like once or twice, but I do like a little outro where there's a breakdown. Those two songs, Bad Luck and My Bad, were good, but to me they really sounded similar. Probably in the sense that the production was kind of the same. It was just a guitar and a beat, mostly, for the most part. I can't say that they sounded the same because the melody and the delivery in Khalid's voice were not the same at all. But the production was very similar, so that's maybe why it felt like it just opened the album with two songs that are very, very similar. And I understand that maybe it's for the storytelling, because there's really a strong storytelling in the song so far. But yeah, I want to hear something else. And I know I'm getting the something else right now because the next song is better. And it's a song that was on the Suncity EP. It's a very good one. By the way, last year we released a song that was called On The Way, featuring Tidal Sign in Black. And that was one of my favorite songs of the year. Like, on Spotify it was my most played song, apparently, according to Spotify. It's such a shame it's not on this album. I love all the different textures of his voice. That's really something I appreciate about Khalid. Oh. The ad-libs. I don't know if we can call them ad-libs, but the way he delivers this last chorus, it's so powerful. The first chorus were kind of flat. I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's just that I didn't find another term, but it was really restrained. We can say that to use a more positive term. And in the last chorus, it really goes all out. That's an outro. Another one that we know, this one we love, because we love disclosure. I love how you cannot tell at all that Disclosure produced it. I mean, there are elements that remind you of Disclosure if you know that they produced it. But otherwise it's just Khalid's song, and that's really cool. Shows how much of a personality musically he has. This song really needs to blow up. Like, I'm ready for this track to be a huge hit on radio, because like, this is kind of perfect for the spring, early summer. Honestly, I want this song to blow up. Well, the little boy from Texas has left Texas and now he's in California, so I guess that's maybe what inspired most of this album, his new life in LA. There are elements that kind of reminds me of, especially on the chorus, of songs, of R&B songs from the 90s, early 2000. Yeah, this is really nice. Oh, there's so much potential for a little outro with the breakdown. Well, we won't have the little outro with the breakdown, but the song was really good. Very relatable, Khalid. Nice. Love these vocals at the end. To tell you the truth, I'm kind of confused by this song. I liked it musically, but the lyrical content, I'm very confused. I thought that was going to be that kind of a song that really looks at relationships through distance and through your phone and through the internet. It feels like it was saying at first, well, you're not mine, I only pretend that you're mine when I talk to you online and everything and on the phone, and then show me, don't pretend. Like, maybe I will have to re-listen to that again, but lyrically for me it felt like, I don't know, it felt very confusing, but musically I really enjoyed the track, so that's that. Also, there's an artist featured on that track, Safe, and I haven't heard him anywhere. That was confusing. What the fuck? Wait. Smoking Himalayan haze. I really thought when you started, your troubles go away when you pray or something like that. I thought, oh, okay, that's gonna be that kind of a song. But then it's like smoking Himalayan haze. Khalid has certainly grown up. Oh, wait. I think he's talking to people who listen to his music, to his fans, and when they go through something hard, they can, find paradise in music. I think that's what he's talking about. I mean, musically the song is good, but it does sound like something you would want to listen to when you're high, so... Oh. This was nice because it's probably not the biggest highlight on this album, but I really enjoyed that track Paradise because musically it felt like it was something different for Khalid. Lyrically too, we knew Khalid would smoke. Oh, this is really nice. I thought the rhythm, when the beat came in the song, I thought it reminds me of kind of rock songs from the 90s, early 2000s. The production and the chorus clearly makes me feel that even more. So this is cool because it's once again something new for Khalid, and I appreciate that. It so reminds me of pop rock songs that I used to listen to when I was a kid, like that I grew up on. Oh, we're getting Khalid as a rapper. Go off. I'm too busy trying to fight away all of my demons. Yeah. Everybody wants a favor, everybody needs me. Fuck, this was so good. I can't believe it. It was so good. I love the production so much on it. The fact that there were two parts in this song, like the outro and the rest of the song, I really liked it. It's the song where Khalid is like, you know, fuck fake friends, fuck the haters, but at the same time he doesn't do it in a very like kind of aggressive and or provocative kind of way. He does it his way in a song that is very mellow and that feels very breezy, that you can listen to in your car at the end of the day. It's super cool, and that little part where he raps at the end, it's such a nice addition to the track because it's clearly not what I was expecting on this track. But I do love a really good outro, especially when it's a bit different from the rest of the song and it gives a totally different feel to the song. In my opinion, this is one of the best songs on the album so far. So the next track is a track that I'm really curious and excited about because it's called Outta My Head, and most importantly it features John Mayer. Okay, I can already tell that this is gonna be perfect for the summer. Oh, the 80s influence. The guitar in the back. Oh, fuck, I love this already. Ooh, yeah. That is John Mayer. The bridge though, it really felt like something like a trip, kind of like something you would listen to when you're high. I'm sorry, I'm using the word high a bit too much in this video, I think. Well, I do have a few thoughts about this track. I really enjoyed it, as you probably could have seen that. I like that John Mayer was only doing guitars on this track. It's usually what he does. And it goes to the question, would it have been the same song without John Mayer on it? No, because this song would have probably never happened. But like what I'm saying is that I know that maybe I'm overreacting a bit because this is John Mayer and I get really excited when he works with different artists. And when he releases something new. Maybe this track is not the most John Mayer thing that he has ever done in his career, but that's okay because it's a song with Khalid. And the guitar solo, you could really feel his touch, which was really cool. And you know, to me, John Mayer is kind of the artist who could just come in the studio and breeze on a track, and that would be fine, like, it would be already amazing. And the 80s influence that you could clearly hear, especially in the guitars on this song, is something that John Mayer has been doing quite a lot recently, for example with Love on the Weekend, and even more recently with New Light. And I want him to release a fucking album because it has been kind of a while. I know that the Search for Everything, I think that was the name of the album, only came out in 2017, but to me that wasn't a good album, so I expect something really new, and that 80s influence kind of vibe, I really enjoy it. If you can bring some blues and a bit of country. I know that the last song he released, I guess I just feel like was a bit more country influenced. That would be great. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'm really excited about this. I'm getting off track. We are doing a Khalid's reaction video, not me professing my love for John Mayer's music. Anyway, great track. The only little thing I have to say is that I really like the chorus, but the post-chorus, oh whoa whoa, it's catchy, but I feel like it gets a bit repetitive around the end. And I feel like this might be the kind of song that I'm gonna listen to a lot at a point, and I'm gonna grow tired of it. But maybe it's not gonna be that track at all, and I'm just gonna be addicted to it for the entire summer. So let's move on. This also has kind of a 80s feel. It reminds me of U2 or The Police a bit. This one is gonna be another perfect track for the late summer nights. I really get an arena rock vibe on this track though. I don't know if it's just me, but I really get that feeling. I really do expect drums for the bridge. Yeah! That 80s pop rock influence, I mean, I'm living for it. I'm totally here for it. I absolutely love it, and Khalid does it very well. Yeah, kind of logical actually. It still has that 80s kind of influence to it. The guitar and the rhythm, it really reminds me of the Police and Sting songs. I think those last couple of songs are gonna sound very, very good live. I really like the guitar in the back though. It's very bluesy. Oh, yes. Oh, it's much more soulful. I really like this side of Khalid. I actually was wondering if we'd get a bit of R&B Khalid on this album. This was very short, but it was very nice. It's not an highlight per se. I do appreciate that he's getting more in touch with his R&B side. There's nothing wrong with him doing pop. It's what he likes to do, and he does it very, very well and mixes a lot of influences, and you have a lot of R&B influences in his pop music, so that is not a problem at all. Oh, I listened to, it was released like a couple of weeks ago. Oh, this is the very introspective track of the album, I think. I love that an artist says that. I've had a couple of problems with self-reflections, because when you're an artist, a songwriter, usually you have to reflect a lot on yourself. You don't have to, but that's usually what you do. It's part of using your music and your songwriting as a therapy, and it's nice to hear an artist saying, well, sometimes being self-reflective is a bit complicated. I don't want to do this. I'm a bit scared of that. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, no, it doesn't make you less of a man, but I really like the lyrical content here. Musically, this song, once again, great production. I mean, on this album, the production is pretty good, but it was very interesting lyrically. It was very introspective, and I do feel like Khalid is someone who is really honest in his lyrics, but so far in the lyrical content, and I'll come back to this later, I thought it was a bit samey. Maybe I'm wrong and I will need to listen to the album again, and there are a couple of songs where I didn't pay attention to the lyrics, but this one really brings something else. It's him being brutally honest, very raw. It's interesting how phones have such an important place in Khalid's lyrics. His vocals are really beautiful. Wait, what the fuck does it mean? If you watch a couple of my videos, you know that I love analyzing and over-analyzing and reading way too much into the lyrics of songs. And here it says I shouldn't have to die to feel alive, but okay, this is one thing that I really have to say, and I will say that in my conclusion, but sometimes Khalid's lyrics, I just don't get them. I don't get what he means by that. I shouldn't have to die to feel alive. I really don't get it. If you have an explanation, please tell me. The song, however, is absolutely beautiful. Okay, this track might be musically and vocally one of my favorite on the album. It's absolutely beautiful. Khalid's vocals are beautiful. The chorus, I mean, it sounds like an angel. There's really a visual quality to this track also. I think it's very cinematic. But the lyrics though, I mean, maybe it's just that I don't understand the lyrics. So honestly, if you have an explanation or a take on it, please share it with me, because I'm really interested, because it does feel, when he delivers those kind of lyrics, it does feel like it's being honest, and You know that he's really confessing a lot of things that he has on his mind. But listening to this, to me, doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, if you have an explanation, please tell me, because I do really like it. But it's not lyrically, it's not connecting with me. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm ready for an epic finale. He's talking a lot about disappearing in his song, and I do have to say something about that later. I do understand why the album is called Free Spirit, because there's something very freeing about listening to this track. As I was saying, I do understand why the album is called Free Spirit, because clearly there's kind of a feel of freedom through the album. Khalid talks a lot about wanting to disappear, so I wonder what it means. Maybe when I'm gonna watch the movie, I'm gonna understand it a bit more, because what I don't get is that Khalid, when you see him in interviews, live and everything, he always seems like such an easygoing guy, someone who's always happy. And I mean, it does show that sometimes people cannot be always happy and they have to show their vulnerability some way, and for Khalid it's through his music. I guess we don't know what he went through, and he probably went through a very difficult stuff this last couple of years, this last couple of months, and that's why these songs have such a dark undertone. But it does feel a bit weird to leave us on this note, but I do understand like that maybe it was important for him that he's making a statement by this one being the last song on the album. Okay, so my thoughts on this album. I did really enjoy listening to it. I think once again the production is really great. It's different from the first album. It feels like it's evolving as much vocally than lyrically than musically. Now there are a few things that maybe I appreciate less on this album, and I just want to remind people that this is just me listening to an album for the first time. So this is not going to be my reaction to the album forever. I'm definitely going to re-listen to this album because I really like Khalid, and a lot of the tracks I really enjoyed. There are little elements that I did not enjoy as much. One of the first things that I have to say is that I feel like he lost a bit of his creativity musically. I like that he used a lot of different influences. You had like music that felt a bit psychedelic on Better, that's my take on it. There's a collaboration with Disclosure Untold that is a bit unexpected, but that sounds really good. In the middle of the album you have songs that are a bit 80s influenced, and then you go to Bluffing, which is more of an R&B song. It's very soulful, and then the last couple of tracks that are a bit more cinematic, a lot more melancholic too. What I do appreciate about this too is that even if he mixed all of this influence in his music, the album feels very cohesive, and that's kind of hard to do, but the way the track list is built, it's very smart and it makes the album flow very well. Now I think production wise, the first album, American Teen, and even Suncity had a lot more creativity, and there were a lot more moments where I thought, oh, this guy really has his own sound. And that's something that I feel that we lose a bit on Free Spirit. Another kind of letdown on this album to me was the lyrical content. It does feel very honest, and it does feel like Khalid is really talking his heart out at some points, and I will have to re-listen to the album again and really pay attention to the lyrics, because on some songs I really didn't pay attention, and that's my bad. For the first part of the album it was talking about a relationship that didn't go very well. Then you have songs that are a bit more uplifting where it's like, well, you know, life is difficult, you're going through a lot of pain, but you can try to forget about it, you can find a way to escape this. And I do understand why it's called Free Spirit then. And then you have the last couple of songs that are a lot darker in my opinion, and probably a lot more personal, that talk a lot about anxiety and probably depression. And the thing is, it's that it does talk about different things on the album, but the problem is the first couple of tracks talk about the same thing, and then you have another bunch of tracks that talk exactly about the same thing. And I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing, because I understand that it was probably very important for Khalid to talk about such subjects here, and that's why he talked about it on a few songs and not just one. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I just don't relate to his lyrics so much, and there are a lot of lyrics where I was really confused. I mean, Don't Pretend to me is really the most confusing song on the album lyrically. So I did enjoy the album, but I will have to listen to it again and pay more attention to the lyrics. and it will probably grow on me. It was a nice album, but for now it doesn't compare to the previous one. So now it's time for my highlights. I'm gonna pick 100 because I love the production on this track, and I also really like the lyrical content for a change. It was like the song where Khalid is like, fuck fake friends, I fuck the haters, I don't have time for this. And I really do like that he had kind of a little rap part where it was being a lot more honest and a lot more direct about what he wanted to say. The production was also great. Very, very great on this track. I really enjoyed Outta My Head, and maybe I'm not gonna enjoy that track so much in a few months, as I've said before. I fear that this is gonna be the type of track that I'm gonna be obsessed with and then I'm gonna just get tired of. But for now, I really, really enjoy it, so I'm gonna pick that one as an highlight too. I think I'm gonna pick Talk too because I really, really love this song and it needs to blow up, as I've said before. It really needs to be a huge hit. And finally, I'm gonna pick Alive actually. Lyrics aside, I really enjoyed this track musically. It was really beautiful. I really enjoyed the production and I really like Khalid's voice on it. Overall, it's an album that I think is a lot more mature than the previous one, but it does lack the creativity of American Teen, in my opinion. Now I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on the album because, as you can see, I kind of have mixed feelings about Free Spirit. I usually really like to hear your thoughts on albums that I like, but on an album where I have mixed feeling at the end of it, I think it's gonna be even more interesting. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'll see you next time, but in the meantime, take care.